Hello again, Year 2s. It's back to work with Mrs. Sweeney on our lovely maths learning. It's wonderful Wednesday, as Miss Doe says. Grab those journals and your learning partner and let's begin. I've got our InFocus task here and it says Charles saves this much, Lulu saves this much. Who saves more money? Now I know, easy peasy, they both save the same amount because they've got the same amount of notes. Look, he's got 3 notes, 1, 2, 3. She's got 3 notes, 1, 2, 3. Am I right? Pause the video and have a discussion with your learning partner and we'll come back and explore it together. Hey there, you're back. Oh, sorry, what? Oh, I've made a terrible mistake, haven't I? Silly Mrs. Sweeney. Let's have a look. What did you say? You said that I'm wrong. I'm wrong because even though they have the 3 notes each, Charles saves more money. How do I know that Charles saves more money? Oh, I've got to look at the number on the note, Mrs. Sweeney. You don't just count up the notes, you have to carefully look at the number on the note. So Charles has got, for example, 2 10s here and just 1 10 here. So clearly he's got more 10s. And then he's only got 1 £5 note and 2 £5 here. So 10 and 10 and 5 make 25. And 10 and 5 and 5 make 20. So Charles saves more money. Silly Mrs. Sweeney. It's getting it all muddled up. Thank you for clarifying, the Year 2s. I was losing the plot then. So now I know that the amount of money is not equal to or the same as the value. Because if I had 2 notes, that does not mean I've got £2, does it? So I have to carefully check the numbers on the note rather than just count up how many notes I've got. So thank you so much for double checking with me. So the amount tells you how many things you have, okay? Whereas the value tells you what those things are worth, okay? The amount of notes they have is the same. You're right. So they both have 3 notes. The value of the notes are different because Charles has 2 10s and 1 5, which makes 25, whereas Lulu saves 1 10 and 2 5s, which is 20. Okay, now pause the video and can you use your more than and less than symbols to tell me who saved more? I may have given you a clue in the previous slide. Who saves more? Okay, and we'll come back together. Now, in our Let's Learn, we're going to learn how we're going to count up our notes, okay? So count on with me for Charles's amount, how much he's saved. So what I'm going to do, this makes it easier for me, and I'm hoping that it'll be the same for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to group up the notes which are the same, okay, which have the same value. So I'm going to group my 10s together and I'm going to group my 5s together. Okay, so I'm going to start with the notes which have the biggest value. So in this case, in Charles's case, the notes which have the biggest value are the 10s notes. And then there's the 5s. So I'm going to group them together. I'm going to count on. So I've got 10, 20, and then I'm going to add a 5, which makes 25. So Charles saves 25. Likewise, I'm going to do the same for Lulu. I'm going to start with the biggest note first, or the biggest value first. So the £10 is the biggest value. So I'm going to put that first. And then I'm going to group the smaller ones, which are the £5 notes, after. Okay, so I've got 10 to begin with. And then I'm going to add 5 more, which makes 15, and another 5, which makes 20. So Lulu saves 20, and Charles saves more because 25 is more than 20. Okay, even though they both have the same amount of notes, the value of the money is different. Now, you're going to have a go at this one, and I'm going to become smarty pants again and prove to you that I'm right. Okay, the question says, Charles and Lulu are trying again to show you £70. Who is correct? And I know Charles is correct because he's got 7 notes. Look, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Therefore, it might be £70. Okay? Pause the video, discuss with your partner, am I right and am I wrong? Come back and we'll have a exploration together. Okay, I made a big mistake, didn't I? I did the exact same thing that I did right at the beginning by just counting up the notes again. You said to me, Mrs. Sweeney, you're not supposed to look at the notes. You're not just counting the notes, you're looking carefully at the value of the notes. That's right. So, just like before, I'm going to group up my notes that of the same value together, starting with the largest value. So over here I can only see tens has the largest value. I can't see any other value that's bigger than a 10, so I'm going to group my tens together. So I've got my tens together, and then the next value that's smaller than 10 is the 5. So I've grouped my 5s together. Okay, so I'm going to now count up. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, £55. So Charles has only made £55. What about Lulu? She's got a £50 note and then a £20 note. So I'm going to count on. I've got 50, and I could count up in my tens, 60, 70. Okay, because I know that 2 tens makes 20. So that's how I'm going to add on my 20. So I've got 50, 60, 70. So Lulu is the one who's got £70, not Charles. Okay, thank you again for clarifying that with me. Now, for this week, you've got your worksheet, and like we've just done together, you are going to use your grouping skills. Okay, you are going to group the ones with the largest value together and then add on the ones which are grouped with the smallest value, and you're going to write what the value of that amount of money is. Okay, so have a go. Remember, if you find it tricky, ask your learning partner to read the question to you. But you've already worked with me, so you should be able to do the rest of the questions independently. Okay, and your final challenge is for today is to be able to write a success criteria for me. Number 1, you could group the notes. What next? What am I going to do next? Okay, how are you going to write up that success criteria? And let us know by sending it to us in our emails. Okay, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for your hard work so far. Have a lovely few days, and we'll be back together to learn again. Bye bye for now.